If we're not, are you recording now?
I'm recording now. You recording?
Listen, I'm going off the cuff. I want to get a good intro. Listen.
Shit.
What are some telltale signs of a real stink human, a real good old boy? What do you like?
I don't know what to say.
You want a big vent in the back? You want a big shoe on the boot?
Oh, big toot in the slack.
What about a big croaky on the glass?
On the boaty? Croaky on the boat. Ah, fuck.
I'm going in with him.
I don't know if you can tell, but we're really struggling for intros.
I call them intro wars.
We worked it in, yeah.
You steal it from you?
I like how you just politely asked. Did I steal that from you? I said it like a minute ago.
Hey, what can I say, man? I don't know. It's the hardest part sometimes. We spent like 20 minutes yesterday.
Longer, probably.
Just trying to shit out of the fucking intro.
One of the hardest things about podcasting, the verb, is like having these ideas you want to talk about and trying to put them in naturally into conversation.
Yes,
like,
especially when
you have
it's
something written down, you're like, oh, I want to talk about that. And you bring it up, and it's like, well, I don't know what to say now.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's so like jarring, and it's like it can always be like a start changing subject, and it's like, I don't know.
We recorded what was supposed to be a ChristmasCast yesterday, and it may still be. I don't know.
It may be.
It all depends on how this one turns out and how festive it is.
Well, that's what you get with RJ3K Misanthropic Train. You just get a stink coming out of there.
Of the train?
Yeah.
I get that coal in the ignition. I just
shovel it out.
My brain's not working. I've been listening to him at Haim. Looks like Haim. You know that band?
I thought it was Haim.
That was Chaim.
Chaim, like life.
Chaim. Yeah.
L'chaim.
They do that. Give a little love.
Yeah,
give a little bit, and then I get.
Oh, dude, are we already talking about Bishop Briggs and her
Big Ship? What is the song called?
Big Ship. Isn't
Bishop
it like
Briggs
No Roots?
Her Big Ship. No, that's No Roots is somebody
Bishop
else.
Bishop Briggs and her Big Ship.
No, that's not Bishop Briggs. It's someone else.
Bishop Briggs is Give Up the Fight.
Yeah. Give it a fight. Give it a fight. Give it a fight.
UFC women's promo material, apparently.
It's
almost like insulting, though. It's like,
well, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's like one of my few talking points.
Yeah.
It's a bold claim, what I have to say. It's very bold, because I'm the liberal, super liberal. I am super liberal.
I am super liberal.
It's the new Marvel enemy.
The enemy.
He's the protagonist. I don't know what it would be.
He's the enemy. That's
people who've never heard this probably think I'm some right-wing nut now. The super liberal. It's like something that Rush Limbaugh would be talking about.
Super libs.
George Soros is creating a super liberal. Was that Obama? Was Obama the super liberal?
A giant human.
It's just an Obama mech.
Overbearing presence.
An Obama mech.
Mech Obama.
Can you do an Obama impression?
I can't. I really can't.
407 years ago.
Yeah, that was his most famous speech.
His famous
Gettysburg
Chicago address. Over there in Chirac.
Nicely done.
I'm going to get back to my point, but you seen any Spike Lee joints lately?
Yes! I can't believe you actually brought that up. Have you? You must have.
Never seen a Spike Lee movie.
I watched BlacKkKlansman.
How was that? How do you like it?
I really liked it. It was based on a true story. Adam Driver's
how was he?
He was good. He was a good actor.
Just like Daniel Craig. I've come around.
It's so funny.
I've come around.
That when we were looking at Kylo Ren, the first shots, we were just like, ugh.
I was like, fuck this guy. Oh, Lena Dunham. Fuck off.
But it's arguably Kylo Ren's the best part of the sequels.
I don't know about that.
Well,
In my opinion.
I'm not saying my favorite part. I'm like saying a lot of people feel that way.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people think he's the best part.
I mean, I'm not saying... there's a lot of people who really... we can't get into Star Wars
No. Anyway, he is really good in it.
Oh.
It's a really solid movie. I don't know. Yeah, I would check it out. It's very stylish. It's especially prescient this time.
Oh. Well, speaking of politically tinged things, Jay's stepping out of line. I've already said stuff about liberals being the enemy. I didn't mean to say that, so now that's a bad segue.
Well, let's
for
talk
me to
about
get
Black
into
Klansmen then.
No, it's a bad segue for me to try to get into my my. It could be taken as an anti-feminist message, but I don't want that. Please don't take it, people. Don't. It's not in the spirit of Christmas.
You haven't seen a Spike Lee movie. What? He did Do the Right Thing. I don't really know what his whole catalog is.
Didn't he do Fern Gully?
I don't know.
You
Oh, no.
serious?
Yeah. No, he didn't do Fern Gully. My God.
You're just like, I don't know, man.
I wasn't even thinking.
Why would his name? Just imagine if deep down his name
Spike Lee joint
was on the butt. Well, it was a very environmentalist movie.
Oh.
So I mean, it's not totally out of the
I
wheelhouse.
think we need to edit that. A Spike Lee joint onto the VHS cover of Fern Gully.
Hexus, great villain in that movie.
But yeah, I would definitely check it out if I were you. I don't know. Do you watch a lot of movies anymore by
I don't
yourself?
watch much of anything except King of the Hill. now.
Oh.
Full retrospective. I don't know if I mentioned it on yesterday's podcast.
I don't know if you'll ever
Big
watch
fan.
it, but there's a great part near the end. It's not a spoiler or anything, but I'm a really big fan of like movies that take real archival footage and edit it into the story.
Oh.
And at the very end, I think the movie takes place in like the mid 70s. And at the very end, it's like, oh, it's all solved. We took down the KKK, whatever. But then, like,
We beat 'em.
There's a flash forward to the
Like Bush, we got 'em.
the Charlottesville
Well, that
thing.
was Obama.
It's so
Seriously?
like,
Effective?
yeah.
Prescient?
You just like I was watching that, I was like, whew, man.
He just nailed it.
Yeah.
At the end, man.
You feel like there's an interview in there that I've never seen before, and it seems such like a desperate cry for help. Like this guy's just like, we don't want these motherfuckers here, and it is, man.
But anyway, my original point, Chris, you cut me off. You started getting into your joints and your drug pipes. It's one of my favorite things on
Joints and drug pipes.
Metal Injection Livecast. Whenever Rob is smoking, Sid always says, he occasionally would offer me. It's just like, I don't want any part of your drug pipe, which is just so like.
That's like that thing Lemmy says. He was like, "Come get my dinner meal." It's like it's just redundant.
Sid Capsule would never be redundant, though. Never.
No, he's
Drug
too
pipe.
fine tuned.
Oh yeah. I always love when they talk about him being charming. He's just this horrible
He is not
man.
charming.
He's so horrible.
Man, we
No,
consider
Sean-
ourselves a misanthropic train. My
Look,
God.
Sean, who you probably don't know too much about.
He's
'cause
been
an
on a few.
old
We're talking about the
figure.
Metal Injection
He,
Livecast.
he and Sid
You
have
just
this
call him a failure.
bizarre. No, he used to
Oh.
be on older ones, but then there was some weirdness with Noah, and it was
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, he and Sid have this weird love for each other. I don't know if they play it up for a joke, but Sid Sean is just always, oh, you're just so charming. Sid, you're just so charming, and Sid always goes, thank you.
It has to be a joke. There's no way.
I don't know.
He's a nasty fuck. He's a bastard.
Anyway, before the tangents are just firing off, just rapid fire.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah,
That's true.
juices are what was it? The well-oiled. What is it? What am I trying to say?
The jets are hot.
No,
Oh, the juices are oiled.
everything's well-oiled or
Well-oiled machine.
No,
Rube
like-
Goldberg.
the juices are flowing.
Juices
I don't
are flowing.
fuck it up. I fuck it up. I fuck it
I
up.
fuck it up.
I call him the Pope. Listen to
It's
it.
just the imperfect tense. I fuck it up. Always.
Doing it in just a permanent state. But
Perpetual
Okay.
fuck up.
I'm going to talk about something tough for me. Been a lot of tough talks lately.
TUFF.
Really? So, as a liberal, I kind of think of myself as someone who is definitely, perhaps not someone who would describe themselves as a feminist, but pro-feminist.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. And so I like to see, better representation of women. More of it just in general, And so it's hard for me to make this argument because it's just tricky, the footing here I'm working with. But So, name some bands that you think are edgy.
Oh, we just had a really good 9 Inch Nails session.
But that's a good edgy.
Oh, you mean like
bad
poser
teenage
edgy?
angst edgy. There's really not much good edgy, but 9 Inch Nails is one of the few.
I don't know. That's hard, actually.
Like, just like...
Yeah, you gotta tip me off here.
Shitty, like, tough guy music. I don't know. But, like, there was a whole thing where I feel like, the internet caught on, finally, to, like, the dangers of, like, people trying to be edgy. Mm-hmm. Or, like, not the dangers, but the lameness. Just people trying to be like, whoa, look at me. I'm edgy. Wow. And I can't even think of any
I think I know what you're about to bring up.
Yeah, exactly. But I think... I don't know, like, just the idea of people being edgy, like, what was it? Would you call Korn an edgy band? Or are they just so far beyond it's something else?
They're like yeah, they are,
like
but
Papa
it's like
Roach and all this stuff.
Papa Roach could
Papa
be.
Roach a good example?
I could see
Is
that.
Blink-182 edgy?
No, they're like a joke.
They're corny.
Yeah.
They're really corny.
They're like corny on purpose, too, though.
I don't
they
know.
used to be. They were.
Really don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, they stopped being.
Edginess in general has become like a thing the internet does not like to see, right?
Yeah.
So it baffles me, and I think a lot of the edginess, it's like, like the 12-year-old listening to Nirvana the first time. Nirvana's not necessarily edgy, but like the idea that, it's edgy to listen to this. This
Nirvana
is dangerous.
was like a mascot for disaffected youth rather than being edgy.
I don't know, but it had that whole rebelliousness as like a theme, so it's just...
That's true.
But then again,
Even though he was
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
It's like a complete mockery
Look at the
of it.
video of it.
Oh, I know.
It's a high school gym, right?
It's a total mockery of teenage behavior. And like the cynicism and I know everything of being a teenager. But, I don't know, just I feel like angstiness and all that and edginess, people got over it. But then, I think there's a new edgy. And the new edgy only happens because maybe... We are in a day and age where it is such it is a good thing to see more, like, good representation of women. Just strong women in the workplace, in movies, in sports, all that kind of stuff. And I think there's something I'm going to coin.
Okay.
Nü-Ejj, N-U-Ejj.
Oh, that's good. No, N-U-E-J.
Oh,
name it that. Nü-Ejj. Name the podcast that.
There it is.
Oh, man.
But like,
N-U-E-J.
It's this thing where I think the public is being, and I talked a lot about this in the last podcast, but those parts might even get cut out for all I care.
Well, this is the bad part of the internet, what you're about to bring up, just the penetration of, like, niche things into the mainstream. And
well, like, I think people wouldn't buy into these bands if it weren't for them being women. That's the bold claim. Like, they're so blinded by, more women of power.
Overcorrection is what you're getting at?
What do you mean?
Well, just like it's insincere.
I think, like, it's just a blanket thing. Like, people see a female singer who's being, like, domineering and aggressive, and they're like, good, stick it to the man. Fuck men. Let's be this way. Let's, powerful women. Look, she's tough. She's a queen. She's a savage. All that stuff. But I think that's where a true danger, a dangerous, like, virus can grow in it. The edge virus. And I want to play a song for you. I'm going to include about 10 seconds of it leading into the drop from YouTube. And I think after you hear this, you're going to get exactly what I'm going after.
You should see me in a crowd. I'm gonna run, there's nothing to how. Watch me make them bow one by one.
Yeah. Do you get it already?
No,
now?
I already knew about it, but I'm glad you...
So Billie Eilish, you should see me in a crowd.
You gave me visual representation. I don't know. I lost it. Anyway, I was familiar with Billie Eilish's You Should See Me in a Crowd long before you were still in your diapers.
Hey. Disrespect. Look,
I don't want that no more. No, I get what you're saying. I get it.
Another example is Bishop Briggs.
It's really strange, though. Like you were saying, edginess was like
It was defeated.
It's passé.
It was defeated.
It's something everyone agreed was like, all right, we'll move on.
But now in the vacuum that was left,
yeah,
I think these people are coming in.
You know what? I really think, strangely enough, dubstep ushered in this age.
It may have.
Dubstep is new metal. It is.
It is.
Dubstep's new metal. I tweeted that a long time ago. The way dubstep songs are the way dubstep songs are like structured. It's the same thing as new metal.
Yeah.
The big drop.
Especially, well, honestly, it's more like deathcore than anything. Deathcore is an entire genre that revolves around getting to a breakdown.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous, and all the breakdowns are identical. At least dubstep, there's a little more variety in the breakdowns. It's not one chord.
Well, that's a pull.
No, seriously, in deathcore, it's always like one chord. It's like a diminished power chord. That's it. And
I saw Skrillex live once
at that hangout thing.
Yeah, I had free ticket.
I mean, what did he put on a great show? Did he twist those knobs and dance?
The best part was when he played "Jump Around" by House of Pain.
Was it like he was doing a DJ set or something then?
Well, I don't know what came up. He just played that, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" But everything else was just Transformer.
I'm just so over even making fun of dubstep. It's
gone. It's over, right? It's over.
Well, the things the new effect is moved into something new like this.
Okay, after dubstep, we got into the Rihanna and was it like David Guetta or Calvin Harris?
Well, that's
or
like
something?
House or no, Calvin Harris.
That was the next
David Guetta's House.
That was the next thing from dubstep.
It was like light dubstep.
Dubstep.
It had like the trappings of light step.
Light step. House step.
That's what I have to do when I go downstairs to go outside with this fucking dog. But yeah, and Bishop Briggs, it's like the new angst is being accepted when
is everything not a cycle basically
but
though?
People aren't
That's how it
seeing the
works.
bullshit because it's female representation. Go, yeah, anything. Strong, powerful woman, single looking woman being tough, being rough. Woman. And like this whole Billie Eilish song, you can just tell, like, I don't even need to look in the comments to know that everyone is like, fierce, savage, she's so great and fierce, and she's, look at her go, you go, girl. And I'm like, is this what we want to represent women?
It's also a combination of the lyrics and the way she presents the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't care, but she's being, like, extremely aggressive,
and then when it hits, it's just like, the song, it's almost like telling you, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Isn't that tough? Like,
a little head tilt.
In this, like, it's so deliberate, it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, it's so just,
I think this is the poser mentality we have. The cynical poser, like, projection, or I don't know.
But I think, like, these are not good examples of strong women. Like, I just think it's just cheap. And Bishop Briggs, corporate plaything now, right? With that fucking song.
Okay, Bishop Briggs is Give Up the Fight.
Yeah.
What was the No Roots thing?
No Roots is like a Megan something. Hold on.
Trainer.
Oh, yeah. What if she made a comeback and tried to be just super edgy?
No, but it is funny. Like, a couple years ago, Ronda Rousey, the female UFC fighter, was probably the most popular athlete at the time for like a solid year.
Alice Merton, No Roots.
But to cheapen that with a Bishop Briggs song, just like this mainstream thing, it's just, ugh. It's a bad taste.
That's really all I had to say. I just think it's something I realized that, like, their Nü-Ejj is a thing. The new angst is coming back, but it's in vogue.
It all comes back from insincerity.
And I had this conversation with one of the office guys at work, and I was trying to assert that in 10 years everyone's going to be looking back at this like Nickelback.
Oh, we said that about Imagine Dragons.
Yeah. And it's tougher for me to see it with women though. I just really don't like to see it with women because it's false. It's just very false. Yeah. It's not good representation of women. It is, but it's just like what's behind it.
It's hollow.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other artists.
There's no substance to it. It's all face value, and it's forgotten in a month.
And see, like on the alternative stations, a lot of these songs, I'm not even including No Roots. That's not like the edge. That's just annoying.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
That's just really annoying. But there's a lot of these songs where it's like a kind of like light, feathery voiced like female singer, and it leads into this like very EDM style like drop, and it has a shitty little like clipped drum thing, just like a Billie Eilish song is just the ultimate sample.
The pipe dragging along a chain fence.
Like the trap sound or whatever. But then this is just like, I don't know, and it sucks. That's all. It's really just all I had to say. I just wanted it to be documented on this podcast that I was thinking about this at this point.
I'm always thinking about Billy. I'm always thinking about Bobby.
Billie.
Billy, we need you to come up with something dark and cool. I want to make a lot of money today.
It's just like, I just feel the music trying to like ask me, isn't this cool?
Yeah.
Ugh. That's all I had for that, man. You just
When we talk about
please.
TV, particularly the I don't know if it's a
Young
rediscovery
Sheldon.
of Lonesome Dove.
Did you watch it?
Tell me about it.
I don't know what to tell you about it. I mean, I got Chris. Chris is a Western fan. I don't think that's going too far. And
Well, it depends, but yeah.
I tried to explain it the other day to Ariel how Breaking Bad is a new age Western.
It is. It's a postmodern Western.
And I broke down like the elements and like the standoffs and all this stuff and the hats, and it's very subtle about it. And she was looking at me like I was crazy, but eventually I don't know, she'll see it.
Like the black hat cowboy is a trope, and he's wearing a black hat when he does bad things.
I mean, it's set in a desert.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Hispanic culture in it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
But I can see how someone just getting into it would be like, that.
Plus,
I don't get that.
I mean, okay, it's been long enough. When is doing his final like walk into the, it's like a
Yes!
Western. It's like someone plucking at a little guitar.
Don't say anything else.
Oh.
She's listening.
Oh shit!
I may have to just bleep that out because that's like the thing I look forward to the most.
Okay.
I know. I think that could be the point if she hasn't gotten into Breaking Bad yet. That's good. I mean, that's a pretty long way.
Yeah. Oh, without like
she doesn't want to hear me talk about this.
No, without going into any more details. When I watched it with my parents a few years ago.
Oh, me too.
And when that came up, my dad was
nuts.
My dad was just like jaw on the floor, just oh.
Same with my mom. I told you she like stood up and like just covered her mouth and just stood there.
My dad has this look where he kind of smiles and opens his mouth really wide, and he goes, "Gross."
Oh.
He said, "That's too sweet."
Are you looking forward to seeing some wine drinking and holding the wine glass over the back of the couch, kind of daintily?
Oh yes,
I always looked forward to it when I went over there.
I'll take some videos for you.
Seeing that a guy that age is still having a good time, I like it.
I think my dad, like you described Derek in the ChristmasCast as swagger, and that's my father. He's an old pirate.
He's confident in his domain. He knows how it is.
He told me once, "I am a pirate 200 years too late."
Wow! Quote of the year. Put it on his tombstone whenever it happens.
Hey, that'd be cool. I'd be all about that. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ever like made a joke about that'll be on your tombstone and somebody got like offended?
My mom always
don't talk about me being dead.
My mom always talks about, "Hey, I want you to play Redemption song by Bob Marley at my funeral."
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Come on, lady. Doesn't sound. She's better than that. I'm not a Bob fan.
Not even that one? Oh.
I don't like Bob Marley.
Really?
I mean, it's closer to I have no opinion.
You know that song, right?
Yes.
Oh, you don't like that one? Oh. It's a good one.
Somebody who was my guitar adversary in high school was a very big fan of that.
Okay.
Guitar adversary. Now there we go.
That's the title.
I don't know. Nü-Ejj spelled like that's pretty good.
No, that's it. That's Runaway.
Pretty good.
Runaway
and
Champ.
It will forever immortalize. Like whenever I see it, I talked about that on this podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
But, in a way that I feel was not very articulate, but I feel like my mind's a little shot tonight. You said you were feeling great.
I always feel great.
Like I'm okay. It's just I don't feel like my brain is at a very high capacity right now. I hadn't had a lot of alcohol like that in a little while, and we drank pretty hard last night and stayed up pretty late and upsets with my dad, standing at 7 in the morning when I was trying to go to sleep. I don't know. I guess you were too.
Oh, I was great.
Did you have trouble with him?
No.
Out there
I told you. Hey, in the morning when
like a brick,
when screeching like a brick.
Yeah.
When people are outside of the apartment, like blowing leaves and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I like it.
You're like, it puts you at ease. Like,
yeah. It's like I know it's happening.
To know my workers are outside, and I can rest easy under the. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm getting off of that bit. Okay, but you television. You brought up television.
Oh yeah, A Lonesome Dove.
Okay, thank you.
Jay gifted
Westerns.
me
Yes, the Breaking Bad was the tangent.
You know more about it than me, but Jay gifted me a mini series, right? Like a 4-episode series. What year was it?
89, I want to say.
It's so crazy. Like I can't
They
imagine.
all, as I said, they refer to it as the death rattle of westerns.
I can't. I'm trying to imagine.
Final hurrah.
I'm trying to picture what a 1989 miniseries looks like.
Well, to be totally honest, I haven't seen it in several years, but it is.
But you had high praise for it.
Yeah, it is one of the. It will probably be a little hokier than you expect.
Oh no, I'm expecting it now.
A TV movie.
Yeah.
But it is still really good, and it's a great adaptation of a novel, apparently. Like, it's one of the most, I've heard, like, faithful adaptations of any novel. Like, it's just really well done, and it's a tearjerker, man. It's a tearjerker.
Good.
It's quite a drama. To me, I describe it as, like, if an Oregon Trail movie was done really well, pretty much. Which is interesting, considering that was kind of, a little bit of that was, I think, explored in the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know
if you want to talk about that at all. Your lack of
Well,
progress. I'm the Red Dead man.
But just a little more about Lonesome Dove.
Oh, please.
It's just quite an incredible cast.
It was Robert Duvall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, how'd you catch it?
My dad.
Yeah.
My dad's a big Western fan, and my parents just celebrate that movie like nobody's business.
Your dad's a cowboy 200 years too late.
He really is.
That's a little long, but...
Imagine your dad in those outfits dueling.
Wow!
It's
Did
like
you ever watch that show on Spike, Deadliest Warrior?
Deadliest Warrior! I'm about to say it! They slice the fucking, like, gel heads and shit.
Yeah, my dad has, like, a flintlock pistol.
Oh! Dad just comes up in his fucking Tacoma.
Oh, it just runs him over. Yeah. Oh, he has that cool cowboy hat too. He's already. He's
that's not even. That's his lawnmower hat.
How many how many bolo ties does he own?
None yet.
Not a cowboy.
He's talked about it though.
He's in the beginning phases.
I just told Chris yesterday his ongoing midlife crisis that lasted for about 20 years ended with was that a Ford Tacoma or what is that car?
Toyota
Tacoma. I'm so bad with cars.
A brand spanking new shiny thing, right?
It's like 8 years old.
Oh,
but
it looks great.
in good shape. And of course, he's been getting into accessorizing.
Oh,
big time. He found accessory channels on YouTube.
What's the cage you put on the front, the brush guard or something?
Is that the deer grinder?
The deer grinder. Oh, it's got spikes on the front.
The deer grinder. Just a meat tenderizer on the front of a car.
Oh, they're heated so they cook on the way too.
And get stuck and speared and cooked by the time you get to Walgreens.
Like a shish kebab to Walgreens.
I don't know. You're just driving somewhere, you kill a deer, and by the time you get to where you're going,
feed the employees.
You can just tear a leg off and start chomping on it.
A deer leg. Imagine that at the Renaissance Fair.
Just walking into a Walgreens with a deer leg.
Hey, I wouldn't turn it down.
Oh,
big
man.
spike. Oh, he's like a Twisted Metal character.
It's like a Mad Max car.
Oh, yeah, that's probably...
That movie, that recent Mad Max movie was so weird and like the way it was so good.
People really liked it.
I mean, it was really good.
I tried to watch it, but something about the way it looked, I couldn't do
Mad Max is a really hard thing to look at.
I could not do it. I watched like 5 minutes. I was like, I can't do this.
It's kind of like there was this series called Lex. It was the sci-fi. I don't know if it was. I think it originally started on Cinemax, and then eventually, when it got canceled, somehow Sci-Fi got their little nasty mitts on it.
A Jesse Eisenberg joint?
No,
that could be a title
no. Oh my god, yes. No, but it was just like there was something about the aesthetic in it that was just so just kind of upsetting and gross. I just couldn't watch it.
The thing about Mad Max to me was it looked like, I don't know if it was a stream. It might be or might not be. It looked like everything was on like 1.25 speed. Like everyone was moving just too quickly and too
Didn't that
jittery.
movie get, not that that matters, but like Oscars for like editing and stuff,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
the production aspect
Yeah.
of it? Because I think costume design too.
Yeah, probably.
The movie has a really upsetting part where like the big bad guy in it that has that shit with the tubes on his face. They like tear it off of his face at the end, and it was like fused to his lips and face, and it like tears half of his face off.
Oof.
And it's pretty rough to look at.
Mason Verger.
Yeah, that's quite a comparison.
About Mason
Second
Verger
time in one
tonight.
night. That's crazy. We saw an old friend tonight. I don't know if we can say the name.
Oh yeah,
have we mentioned before,
please,
Addison?
yeah.
Okay, had a good catch up with him.
The Dark Souls pioneer.
Oh wow, the champion of Dark Eater Calamite. What is it?
He is the Firekeeper.
Well, he has platinumed everything except 3, right?
Yeah. Strangely enough.
See, I'm looking at 2. Like, how am I gonna do this? And then no Dark Souls talks. It's done. I've retired. Well, I'm personally not retired, but my speaking is just over. So we met back up with Addison, and it was a great time to see the man.
It's really funny when
It was a great time to see the man. Wow.
3 people with like mindsets meet up, and we're just probably really
Cackling and
probably
pointing.
really annoying to other people. But
No, those people at the restaurant were so fucking loud.
There were several times where we just couldn't help but laugh.
Oh,
It
and
was
I
so
couldn't. I
obnoxious.
couldn't help but make a face. I couldn't help but shoot them a nasty look. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever get older, like as an adult, and you feel just like you should have better sense than this?
Absolutely.
But you really look over and you can't help it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like using
Sure, if I was straining myself.
wine openers to open like beer bottles. Never has the same. I don't know. But I don't know what's to be said. It was good to see the guy again, and we
Always.
lots of making me sit and squint at you guys about Mario peripheral Mario titles.
Oh,
Like
you just
fucking
missed the
Mario
boat.
Golf,
You missed the boat.
Mario Party, Dr. Mario.
oh, Dr. Mario.
Fuck on,
What a
man.
revelation. What a revelation.
Tell me about that.
That's my
your joyous turd journey with it.
Music pick of the week, Chill by Dr. Mario.
Are you serious?
He did it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's not really it, but it's in my heart.
We shot off like 4 total last night. We're already ready to do more. It's insane.
What, music to picks?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not ready yet.
Oh, I
have one.
I've got one.
No, I've always got one in the back pocket.
I plan ahead sometimes. Not today. I blew out all my talking points yesterday so hard. That's why I like dominated it.
Yeah.
You know, it was just all the shit I had built up, and I felt like you were just like overwhelmed.
I was just like cowering. It was like in the Andre the Blacksmith video where that character does a gesture where he's like that. That's what I was doing the whole time.
That's one of my favorite videos. Like it's one of those things. It's like the Tommy Rogers Between the Buried and Me solo project where Scared. I listen to it if I'm in a upsetting sad mood, and it turns everything around for me.
Tommy Rogers?
That's his real name.
Oh, okay.
He
I was about to say, how do you not
Giles
know this?
or Giles or whatever? That's his middle name.
Okay.
You know, it's like that thing that some girls do on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where they just use their first and like middle name. I'm just like, why are you doing that? You just don't want to be found? What's the deal?
Yeah.
Like, just set it to private.
I'm friends with 1,000 people, but
Yeah, and I'll just be just like Jackie Ann. It's like,
hey, speaking
buy
of
this.
Ian,
Men do it too.
Speaking of great YouTube videos, can we talk finally about the Wiseman's Committee?
Okay,
I don't think we've ever talked about it.
Really?
I don't think we've ever addressed it. At least not like.
Oh, it needs to be addressed.
Oh, please!
It must be.
Oh man!
The whole gang. Good old. I'm Greg.
There's Greg Puckett.
I don't like it. You see the look on my face?
Yeah.
It was because it reminded me of the old Greg, the Mighty Boosh bit.
No.
See, the bit on its own wasn't bad, but people ruined it, and I can't talk about it. It's cancerous now. It's nuclear. It's radioactive.
When was that? Was like 7th grade.
That was
me,
a
right?
long fucking time ago.
That was a long. It was like 2006,
I was in like
7th
8th or 9th grade, I think.
Yeah, so I would have been in 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And it just like caught on, but nothing from the show ever caught on after that.
No.
It played on Adult Swim for a little while, and it was fine. I mean, it was just fine.
The Mighty Boosh, is that what it was called?
Yeah. I liked it.
Why did people latch onto that? It's so strange, the things that get...
It just went viral.
That just make it
like,
through
it just, when it hit the States, I think it was just somehow so separated. It was like this obscure thing that had just been overseas, and then like it just took the country by storm.
Similarly, Lemmy's like most popular video is the one where he's like steel's heavier than feathers, that whole thing.
Oh, I don't like that at all. I never got it.
But a lot of people have seen that video and don't know where it's from. Similar to the old Greg thing.
Why would that be? But like at least with old Greg,
because
I
it's
get
just
it.
so simple.
Old Greg is kind of like it's just simple. It's like absurd enough, but also digestible and almost mainstream compared to the rest of the show.
The thing about the Lemmy thing is he's selling it like it's a real interaction, and I think people think it's real. I think that's really what it is.
I bet he gets a lot of saction out of that, honestly.
He's probably sick.
Have you seen his homemade show?
I watched one episode.
Yeah.
I mean,
You really like him. I mean, we like him.
We love the guy.
But
he doesn't love anything, though. He doesn't like much of anything.
The Wise Men's Committee.
Please.
I want you to tell me. You said you can't remember. What? There has to be a path.
Should I call
somewhere.
Daniel right now?
Call him.
Where's my phone?
Please. I would pipe him in by.
I'll put him on speakerphone.
I would use an auxiliary cable, but yeah, just hold him up to the mic.
Okay.
I hope he's not like having a bad moment. Like I just hit a dog in the road on the way home. You know, like that.
I hope that's a moment.
Chris, I can't talk.
This is important.
Really close. Closer. No. Like.
It's coming out of here.
Okay. Fucking iPhones.
Yo.
Oh yes, you
Hey,
picked up.
buddy.
We're doing a. We're doing a. I hope
We're doing a thing.
I hope I didn't bother you, but we're.
No, you're fine.
Okay, cool, excellent. We are talking about the Wise Men's Committee,
Mm-hmm.
and how did we find that?
This is. Hold on, Daniel. This is like phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Exactly.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Whoa.
so I have 60 seconds to answer.
Go.
Yes. Do you remember how we found the Wise Men's Committee at
You
all?
are the weakest link. Goodbye. Sorry. Deep
I
cut.
think what it was, I think what it might have been, it was, okay, the first video we saw was absolutely that one of Greg.
The question marks.
Backwards clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
But how?
Was it just in a related video or something?
I think it might have been Mega 64's favorites.
Oh! I almost hope not.
Like 1,000 videos in that playlist.
It makes a lot of sense.
I kind of hope not. I like the idea that we just like it just appeared one day and we found it. It's like this strange
A
presence.
mysterious emergence.
Oh
I
man.
mean, it's this really weird, like, self-contained, awful universe.
It is.
I like it. It has the same Dark Souls effect of like a decrepit, dying world, you know?
Lord Greg and Yellow Groove live in Lordran.
I'm Greg.
And Todd. Can't forget Todd.
I don't like Todd. Todd makes me nervous. I don't like Todd. I can't watch his videos. His
They're like these
videos.
Greek anti-gods.
They're the opposite of a god?
Yes.
So is that what you're saying?
Just the lowest form of humanity.
A lesser demon?
They're human dregs. Oh my
Like,
god.
They have their, I don't know, they have their mythos.
They do. It's a self-contained universe, like you said.
The thing that gets me is how often the same clips are used, but I accept it, enjoy every second of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. Well, thank you. It was an
Your
emergency
time is
phone
up.
call.
We're going to choose probably either A or C. Who wants to be a millionaire?
Don't go with C.
Oh, yes, true. It's a rule.
Shit.
Stick with A.
They're going to cut you off. Like, I'm going to add the sound that they always do when the phone call cuts. Bye, Daniel.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Been watching a lot of Who Wants to Be
Awesome.
a Millionaire lately.
Oh, really?
I'm a big
Are you
fan of that,
serious?
actually. I don't like a lot of game shows.
I love trivia stuff. Can we
But-
talk about the Wise Men's Committee?
The Wise Men's Committee. Man, if they had questions.
Oh! What
All right.
beer did you
No.
Todd drink? Steel Reserve 40 ounce?
All right, Mr. Charles, for the $500,000 question. If you lose this one, you'll be bumped back to $25,000. You can either go home now or accept it. Greg Bucket is the purveyor of what review show? Cynthia's Nasty Doll Collection? Greg's Golf Gaggle?
Greg's Golf
Beer
Scramble?
Greg's Beer Reviews? Or Greg's Welfare Line?
It's a line. It's like a clothing line.
I'm going to have to ask the audience.
He couldn't figure it out.
I have to show you some highlights from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh, no. I
Some of them, there's one guy
You like to
named Miss Something Smith who just had this freakish streak where every question that was asked of him, almost immediately, he had it. He didn't even think.
Did you like the Regis era or the Meredith, what's her name, Vieira or something era?
I like the nicer woman.
Was that later?
The white lady with like the kind of like...
The cropped.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I like
that's
her.
Meredith Vieira,
Regis,
I think?
I don't know, but Regis is too... Regis
He's too full of
He gets
himself.
into it too much. Like, he doesn't give the woman. I hate to say it, like the woman, but she was always very nice. And like, if somebody lost, she was, oh, I'm so sorry. She'd get him, give him a hug,
I
and
wanna
pat him on the
s-
shoulder.
I wanna say she
Regis
was-
would be like, fuck off, get out of the studio.
You suck.
We're gonna throw you into a ditch.
I think she was a host on the Today Show.
Either
For
way,
some time?
she's really good at it.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
we finish the podcast, I really want to show you this guy. It's like 15
I love
minutes.
trivia. One of my a holiday tradition of my family's is we all play Trivial Pursuit and test our strength,
There's just wow.
like in Mortal Kombat.
I'm trying this St. Arnold French press Imperial Coffee Porter right now. That's a rare variety. Really, you just don't see them a lot.
I just realized I did a major faux pas that I hate. I kept calling it St. Arnold's.
Ha ha ha! And I got it right.
Fucked me up.
Ooh, roll. It's always like a role reversal.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm having conniptions.
Oh, gives me conniptions.
Thank you. Bloodborne.
I had to fit it in somewhere.
Always have
I already
to.
mentioned Dark Souls and Calamite. My God.
Wiseman's Committee. We need to get
Who's your favorite character?
Greg. We're getting a call back in.
Uh-oh. An update.
Update, yes? Oh, wait. Okay.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Hi. Are we recording?
I just wanted to let y'all know, the thing that I was doing when y'all had called me, I'm watching Star Trek The Next Generation.
Dude.
Baylock 2's in that.
Really?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Baylock. Baylock 2, the second. Our
Baylock Jr.
I'm done. Just continue. You already look like a junior.
He was Ron Howard's brother. Sean Howard. Couldn't be.
Duh.
Couldn't be.
Jesus had got me interested in the idea, so I'm
Oh.
just finishing up the second episode.
He is a
The
Trekkie.
Son of God.
Yeah. the Lord and
Sorry, we're doing like a possible part 2 Christmas cast.
Ooh.
The
Hell yeah.
big one.
Well, you mentioned the Son of God, so it has to be now. That's like an art line.
Speaking of the Son of God, Daniel.
Oh, man.
Just thought I should let y'all know.
Oh, please.
By the way, Daniel, I wanted to note this. Right before we were about to call you, I was saying, like, God, I hope he hasn't just, like, been in the middle of something fucked up and we call him and put him on the spot on recording. Like, he just hit a dog with a car and he's just like, oh, God, what did I do?
He hit Durango.
Oh, yeah!
Oh! He just drifted away.
Anybody got a Durango update?
Tragic.
Daniel, Durango update?
Durango's still there.
Any new signs?
Still there.
He's lost weight.
He didn't sign at James Bond or anything?
You know what? I haven't gotten a good peek.
What if you went through, like, a transgender phase or something?
Oh, he's Chris Chan.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, it's Bob Chan. What if it was Bob Chan is out on the streets?
His ghost
He faked
is
his own death.
possessed. Possessed Durango.
Bob Chan faked his own death to get out of that hellhole of Tuckersville, Virginia, and moved to the street by a Walmart.
Daniel, who's your favorite, the Wiseman's Committee fighter?
Oh, it's Todd.
Choose your fighter.
Yeah, Todd. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you, but Todd just makes me upset.
Oh, no, he's disgusting. I hate him.
Wow!
He is a scumbag. I think I've probably
I
said,
feel
I know-
dirty after watching
I've
him.
told-
I love Yellow Groove.
I told both of you guys so many times, but it needs to be on recording. There's a comment someone left on a Todd video, and someone just said,
A titio.
I forget how much of an ass Todd is when he drinks.
Wow.
Like, it was someone that
They
knew
know
him.
him.
Yeah.
Maybe his mom or something.
Oh!
Watching the Todd verse.
The thing that I love about
Enter the
about
Todd
videos,
verse.
All of the comments are people who know about them.
Yeah, we're all in sync. Yeah.
Scary. We need to create a network.
That's what makes that type of like comedy so rewarding.
Yellow Groove Melancholy is my recommendation, by the way.
Yellow Groove and TBA Courtside is best.
Oh my god. That one's a deep cut, really.
All right, gentlemen. I'll let
Okay,
y'all go.
thank you.
Fare thee well.
Y'all have a good night.
Night. You know, I was fishing for a Daniel.
I think this
Involvement.
has to be the Christmas cast. This is so explosive and good.
It just may need to be part 2.
Oh, part 1.
If I just cut out my ramblings about celebrities, I think it might be a lot better. And it'll cut out like 45 minutes of it. It's very long.
I just didn't. Okay, I didn't feel engaged in the first one.
There's too
and
much work I put into it. My picks were too good. I'm not scrapping
It doesn't need to be the Christmas cast though.
Lord,
Look, the
I just
Christmas cast I feel like needs to be even keel.
Ah.
Like we're both. You know what I mean?
Was that even keeled enough for you?
Yes. I still think we haven't talked about the Wiseman's Committee at all.
You're making this difficult for me. These two podcasts there's nothing, like, we haven't done anything Christmas related. Like, if anything, there was more in the last one, but it was almost nothing.
There was nothing in the last one. Let's get off of this.
I don't know what to do. Fine. Okay, the Wiseman's Committee. We've said our favorite characters, our favorite characters, our favorite fighters we selected. 2P, Greg Puckett. We've said our videos, everything. What else is there to say?
I mean, what is it?
It is. To me, it's like a curse for a video editor. Like whoever did this was trapped, and they were given footage of about 3 channels, and just left alone, and it's all they could do. They were given all these videos. I imagine this world, this fantasy.
The long and short of it is, this guy basically does, like, I mean, it's not the same style, but it's Vic Berger-ish edits of these people's channels.
There's so much more repetition, though. Like, he uses the same clips in almost every video involving each of the characters. They're not even people, they're characters now. But it's just... I don't...
So,
he makes it fresh, even when he reuses stuff.
The committee consists of these 3 channels. There's Todd, who's just this...
Holy Trinity.
Nightmare. He just drinks like Steel Reserve.
Greg's the father.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow Groove is the son.
Todd...
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah, it's true. This is the Christmas cast. Todd is this character that he puts on his, like, flip phone and records himself drinking and just
He's out of control. He's like a paranoid schizophrenic.
There's something wrong. And he just goes on these horrifying ramblings, like InfoWars level.
Like, really all it is... Hold on. Now, Todd, to me, is a mystery. But I know that, like... Greg is obviously, like... It's when like, I think I saw someone in the comments...
Greg is the beer review guy.
Like... In the comments, it was like these are the depths of YouTube. There's always these like Z tier like review things. There's like a food like appreciator who's just like reviewing and celebrating junk food. And I don't know what Todd is. I don't know what his channel was, what his point was. Was he just like a vlogger?
I think he was.
Like, can you call that a vlogger? Just a shirtless, greasy, awful man who is fucking like a paranoid schizophrenic, just screaming and dancing, and just what is going on?
And somehow they all fit together, right?
I don't think Todd does. I can't even look at the videos.
They're hard to look at.
I just can't watch them. Like
he's
I
obviously
see a thumbnail and I'm upset.
The antagonist of the series.
That's why it ended. He made Greg disappear one final time to be beamed up.
But basically, this guy just takes these videos from these channels and
to heaven.
He edits them just to hell and makes these own little stories.
But a lot of it is so simple. It's just like footage of him, like Yellow Groove reversed, set to like the theme is a video game. He often takes like a title like I don't know, like a Ghosts and Ghouls or something, and he creates a sort of framework out of that. But he uses like the same clips dozens of times, especially Greg. And remind me what the counter is. Is that how many? Like, what is that? I've asked you about 19 times.
I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's just so you can count exactly what frame it is when you're editing. So someone it's a joke. Someone like made an editing mistake.
It's like the one thing I don't get, but I don't know.
It's just editor humor.
What I like about the channel is there is a space that I used to live in or occasionally visited. I think of it as like another portal, a portal to another reality.
Is this your DD talk?
Yeah. It's sort of the DD talk
from Lemmy Show.
Like, where you're just either through being off and having, like, not wanting to go out or do anything all summer, you know, in college, or, like, you always take summer classes usually, right? But I remembered when I was in school, the summer where I had a music theory class that I had failed, and I just retook it in the summer. I just didn't go to class. And then I had, like, 2 classes, and they were on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so I was just there, and there were, like, 8 people on campus. I would just do whatever I wanted. I would get up whenever I wanted. I just would walk around in pajamas like one of those fucking losers. I wouldn't do it today. And I would just smoke dope and shit, just too much of it, and just like sleep all day, get up and like go to the
you
bars
just
at night.
wake up in a haze, not sure what time it could be. Just like the world is moving on without you.
And it's like if you just would just imagine it's like the life of Rust Cole before he given
That's a good
new
way
sense
to put
of
it.
purpose.
That's a good way to
like
put it.
he wakes up and such, and then by 11 a.m. he's just drinking. You know what I mean?
It's just a constant, like it's a haze.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, oh.
Yeah. And you're drunk all the time and confused and falling asleep and sleeping too much and hazy when you get up.
Just a perpetual stupor.
And eating garbage just all the time, junk food, and like it just contributes to this intense like malaise, right? That's the right word?
Yeah.
And just like it's incredible. And to me, the Wise Man's Committee is that without going through it.
It is.
Like, it's like when you watch the video, you're in it, especially with Yellow Groove. But like Greg is just the perfect companion piece to Yellow Groove. Todd, get out. I'm never going to be on board.
Todd's the necessary evil.
Todd
I feel.
needs to die.
He
may be.
Probably is.
He may be.
He should be
somewhere.
added to the YouTube death pool.
Oh.
He should be. Oh, fuck. Real Sick Dan is probably dead.
No, Real Sick Dan is still kicking. I think he does Twitch stuff now. Like he just plays like
so he's dead.
He just plays like Black Ops 4 and stuff. Blops 4.
So he's dead.
Speaking of games,
Oh.
let's talk about some games. I don't want to get off of TWC, but
Just everyone look
the-
up Wiseman's
the anti-TLC.
TWC. Oh God! Imagine the Wiseman's Committee having its own channel on TV.
Oh my God, just 24/7. Like I need like
Hey, we should do it.
Look.
TWC Infinite, just like Giant Bomb. Just constant.
I've shared this with you before, and this is my concluding statement, but like I do, as somebody who abuses mind-altering substances, or has in the past, rather, that's a better way to put it, because I'm turning over a new leaf, Ariel. Oh, I didn't say that for anybody, but it is sometimes awesome to revel and just wallow in dysfunction.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah.
Like if you have like a spring break, or if Houston this past year was not the best example, but just constantly drunk or hungover or sleeping or just like waking up to eat garbage and junk food and watching fucked up videos.
The best way to do that is to know that you don't have any real obligations on the horizon.
Yeah.
Like you just got time.
Exactly.
It's
absolute
not like
freedom.
you're not putting anything off. You're not going like it's Tuesday and I have a project due Friday. I'm gonna be a fuck up these next few days. No, you gotta have everything free, and then it really works. Your mind is completely uncaged.
And just like, I think it's well represented even on our channel. I think we're gonna do a third part eventually, but the Blitzkrieg suite, as I refer to it, there will be 3. That's a great example because that video is just, it is so, especially the second one, so impressively upsetting. Like the realizations you have to make when you watch it.
Was the second one the one where we're listening to the Christopher Lee?
Yeah,
song?
the Christopher Lee Christmas metal album.
Like, what were we thinking?
Well, no, Metal Injection actually brought it up to me. That's probably why I was showing it. They do this impression where it's like, I'm Christopher Lee. I have a new album. It's like the ghost of Christopher Lee is their guest, and Darren plays him. And he goes, I have a new Christmas album of metal music. And he constantly is forgetful and will not stop saying that. That's the point. And so I was just looking that up, and in the background, that's blasting Christopher Lee, of all people, B-movie horror star, Count Dooku later,
Horror star.
and also metal singer. He sang for metal bands.
It's a Renaissance man.
What a weird life. Yeah. Can you imagine being a 91-year-old man in a metal band singing Christmas covers and then dying? And you were Count Dooku 10 years previous? Like, what?
My favorite part about the Cheez-It Blitzkrieg videos is like piecing
Daylight.
It's that's
the best part.
It's piecing together all the little elements. Like, okay, so we looked up the Christopher Lee metal cover thing, Christmas music. We're like sucking down Cheez-Its. It's daylight outside. Like, what was our mindset throughout all that?
There wasn't one.
And the other one,
That's the point.
The Tim and like one of the Tim and Eric sees like the DVDs is playing at the menu, and we just have that looping music in it.
That's the dysfunction. That is
It's
The
like we were doing
danger transpo.
It's like we were doing something else and just got caught up and lost.
The idea of becoming lost, though, like, there's always, like, I think they use Sid Barrett as an example.
This room is just, you get lost in this room.
It's a portal to something deeper.
You.
Something that is...
Just weird things
something that you
happen
can come and go from, but it's always out there, and you have to remember it's out there, and you can go there if you want to.
It's like this is like a physical, like, manifestation of, like, a mushroom trip or something.
Well, and as someone who's
someone who you could just step
big
into
formerly fan of psychedelics, man, I mean, it's all...
I can just step in here.
I like to carry the torch.
You just step in here and things get funny.
Real funny.
Physics don't apply anymore.
I mean, you
apparently.
threw a bottle earlier.
That's what I'm thinking of.
And I slapped it, and it somehow immediately jettisoned across the room and hit you. I wasn't even. I was trying to slap it out of the way, and I like hit it dead on. It just launched back at you. It's just like towel throwers. Yes. It doesn't make sense that the ding is perfect. Exactly. It's towel throwers. I need to re-upload towel throwers. I think
you do. Yeah.
I think towel throwers has been. Bacon on my personal channel for too long.
You need to give it a title that's like re-upload in parentheses from like 2014.
Lost footage.
Yes.
The funniest part about that is I'm in my like high school uniform outfit.
Oh,
uniform outfit. That's pretty good.
There's so many good like aspects to that.
That little grin I give is my favorite part.
It's also just the fact that
it's so like
I was like setting something up. I go, watch this, and like gingerly threw a pizza pan on your bed.
Man, but I don't know what it is, but you know, I'm not a spiritual person.
I understand what you're saying because I'm not either.
But
there's
do like
something going on.
I like there to be
there's something in the air.
The idea of dimensions or planes of existence that you can just like Solaire said. Yeah. Wow, what a great quote.
Thank you.
Like heroes of like centuries past are fading in and out. Like what did they say? Like it's the flow of time is distorted.
Yes,
like,
yes,
that's what it is.
The flow of time is convoluted. That's
convoluted, and like the idea of heroes fading in and out.
That's why
so
time moves so fast in here.
It's frightening. Like
that's
last night when we were recording the first attempt of the ChristmasCast, like every time I would look over, it would be like another hour and a half. Yeah. I was like, what's going on?
That's why you say like, hey, work talk for 2 minutes, and then it goes 45 minutes.
It's frightening.
It's actually really scary. I think if I spend too much time in here, it's like Interstellar. If I spend too much time in here, I'll still be young and everybody will be old. Mm-hmm. Or the opposite, actually.
I like the first, but it is. And
like, I'll just step out. Your parent, you'll be older than your parents. How horrifying!
I coined it. It is the essence of the unmanned danger transpo. That is what it is. It is a portal and a reality that is an unreality.
I think
it's like the negative zone.
The very being of the tweet that you had, the unmanned danger transpo.
He was in that dimension hard.
It's a byproduct of being in this dimension. You could not have come up with that without
like the
being
abyss
in it.
And Dark Souls just taking you.
It's like if you enter this dimension and slap a keyboard, that came up.
Yes.
That's what happened.
It's very frightening.
It's calculated, but it's random.
Terrifying things happen, like liquor bottles flying across rooms from Lazy Boy kickstands. Wow, Lazy Boy kickstands. This is ridiculous. We drove by the Lazy Boy headquarters. You want to talk about that?
Oh, the Lazy Boy revelation! You have to talk about that.
Oh shit! Okay, so we've been making a joke.
I spent years on this thing.
Okay, is the name Jeff? Does it mean anything on this channel? Like, does it? Okay, good. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna even bleep that. It's just Jeff. It could be Jeff Gersman for all you fucking know. But there's a certain parent of a certain friend of ours or whatever. There's a certain person out there who is a parent who we often talk about. Because to me, he's like a cross between, I don't even know. It's like Sling Blade meets Tony Soprano. Wow. How have I never made that before?
Incredible.
That's scary. But also like a wild animal mixed in there. Like
a giant
hog. A rabid hog. And
it's a prized hog.
He had an upset, put him on my spit roast. Can you picture him being just speared through the ass and the mouth, twirling over a flame, juices trickling down, and Greg Puckett's rubbing his hands and yellow grooves nearby.
See what we got in the fridge today.
Picture. What a horrible. Let's see what's in the. See what's in the dad today. That could be so many titles in this one. That's how you know the podcast is working. Yesterday,
I told you I felt good.
You know that one's going up.
I told you I felt good.
Look, it's going to be heavily edited.
It's
fine. Going up though, and it's sad too because that's pure podcast 40. Pure podcast 40.
I told you I felt good though. And
this is podcast 41.
We're
by
swinging,
the way.
man.
But anyway, like. What about this parent? Oh yeah, the revelation.
The Lazy Boy. The Lazy Boy Revelation's a fucking title too.
The canon of our joke, like friendships and jokes, and I'm getting a little drunk. But
well, if you can imagine our joke mythos, it's like tendrils.
It is unreal.
It's tendrils flowing out like a brain cloud kind of thing, like like a nebula.
Wow.
And if you retract all those tendrils, it goes back to a single Lazy Boy.
Yeah, man.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. Hey, I'm in the Unmanned Danger Transpo. I'm talking.
That's pretty good, man. I think, like, if you look up at the stars and think they're looking down at you, you get it in the Lazy Boy. But yeah, we discovered
the Lazy Boy Nebula.
Wow. Did you just... Wow.
I just did this.
No,
never.
I'm just kidding. But I'm just yanking on your chain and... Whoops.
I'm pinging chains.
Sorry, alcohol pumps through my blood. Or my... It's in the blood. Anyway.
Well, it's
after
true.
all these years, how many years have you been coming to this room? It's freaky scary.
Well, let's break it down to how many years have I been sitting in that chair
sulking?
Yeah. So 4. Let's see.
That stain on the back of the chair is actually all you.
This is my back grease. There's actually
you've left your print.
Daniel and I's old apartment. There's a spot I would always sit by while watching TV. I'd sit on the floor,
holding the pillow in your lap.
Wall. I'd sit on the floor against the wall. By the time we moved out, there's just a big black shadow, like I got vaporized on the wall. It's like a nuke hit me, and I just got burnt into the wall.
There's just an outline of a beer bottle on the wall too in your hand.
That's like a King of the Hill thing.
Yeah, but I made a really startling Sorry, you know, it's tough. Chris went through a little bit of a health scare and basically turned his life around a little bit and lost a bunch of weight, just like I did because I quit drinking too for a very long time. It's just, don't you think it's kind of weird?
It is funny that
we're oddly in sync with like weight loss and health and mental stuff. It's weird.
That's actually, I didn't think about it. We're too in sync. I need to get out.
Yeah.
I need to leave the Unmanned Danger Transpo.
You need to go back to whatever century your heroic self came from.
Wow.
Fucking Havel over here. The Rock. Chris the Rock. But.
Chris Rock.
Wow. These mental leaps are just great. That wasn't much of a leap. That was more like you fell into it. But I just found out this chair he's been coming over and sitting in for 7 years? 8? What is it? 6, 5? What?
Well, let's say since we started the original channel, 4 years. 4 years.
It feels like so much longer.
Yeah, but since I've been sitting in that chair, just
yeah, preparing yourself for this,
like a fucking dumb gorilla.
Do you remember those things in Majora's Mask that blew up outside of a canyon, and you'd walk around, they go.
There are a lot of good sound effects in that game.
Oh, I wanted to tell you something.
You haven't. Come on, we gotta finish.
Let me finish the Lazy Boy thing. I discovered this chair was a Lazy Boy. We didn't know,
and we've been making fun of Lazy Boys for so long.
We've been making fun of for so long, and just the idea of a Lazy Boy, the spelling, everything about it is so hokey and corny. It's been a fucking Lazy Boy. It's like the most well-hidden fucking logo. It is like etched into the wood on the side of the lever that operates the. What do you call that? The foot stand,
like a switchback.
Yeah, whatever the a leg support, whatever it is.
It's like a lever to switch train tracks.
The fucking thing you flipped that Sailor Jerry bottle with last night.
The best part about that was the moment you realized that we were on the headset on PSN.
Oh yeah,
and you just go,
yeah,
Chris, I cannot believe this.
Oh my god!
And I was just like, what? It's a Lazy Boy.
I was stacking.
I think we both at the time must have just gone,
oh!
Oh!
I think I was going over to either put more beer into the fridge.
Why were you crawling around down
No,
there?
I think I was sitting on the ground because I had like a 12-pack of something that I hadn't actually put in the fridge yet, and I opened it up and sat down because I don't know. I'm a weird manager. If you come to my grocery store, you'll see a dressed-up manager sitting on the ground, sometimes Indian-style stocking.
You can't say that. Crisscross applesauce. You just keep that in. Just keep that in.
Fuck. Native American style. Whopa Gangnam. Ooh, I'm a dark person. But I don't know what it is, but like a lot of people just bend. I don't have a bad back or like a painful back, but when I've been doing a lot of bending down, up and down, I have like a weakness.
Does your back hurt when you wash dishes?
No, the only back pain I ever have, it's like a weakness. It's not a pain.
Yeah.
It's like I just like it's
like,
just like
I
kind
just
of
need
weak.
to-
You're like I've been bending too much. I'm like this is slowing me down. Like I can just tell my back's
I've found
appreciating
that
this.
sinks, like when I'm washing dishes, are at the perfect height. Because I'm tall. I'm 6'3".
Not as tall as Addison.
Well,
I don't know
we're
why
about
I
the
never
same.
realized that Addison's more of a man than you.
It's true. It's at the perfect height. It's at the perfect height where I have to bend down in the most
Fuck!
uncomfortable way, and it hurts me back.
It hurts me, Dark Souls. I just said it hurts me, Dark Souls. That's a transition point, but I wanted to say something. Just to mark a period in
Please,
history.
yeah.
We're over the lazy boy.
You said something about games, right?
We need to talk about games for a minute and just
Sure.
a brief Dark Souls mention. I found out very recently there are disturbingly similar things between Dark Souls 1 and The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Like,
That might be why you subconsciously
No.
love it.
music,
Yeah.
boss design, some level structure. I'm going to show you a video later. It's fucking freakish. Like, the music is so fucking similar at points. And, for example, some of the concepts, I don't know. It was very sobering and frightening, and I'm about to look it up just to, like, it just scared me. Like, there's this ongoing thing in my life where, like, I do feel like shit happens for a reason.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
more and more it's starting to happen.
the thing
and I don't
with-
know if I like it.
It's also just like, it's like that phenomenon when you hear a word for the first time and then all of a sudden it's everywhere. You've had that happen, I'm sure. I
of
feel
course.
everybody has that happen.
There has to be a psychological term out there for that. A
Oh,
very
definitely,
obscure and
definitely.
difficult one. It's out there.
It's probably named after someone's last name or something.
Anyway, I wanted you to make your piece about Red Dead Redemption 2. Just, you can't obviously talk about it that much with me because, you know, I haven't beaten it. I'm barely through chapter 2. I'm like mission 6 out of, 19 or 13 or something. And, just go.
Red Dead 2?
I've played the first one on Xbox One, or actually I started on 360, uploaded my save file. It was your 360 too.
Oh, wow.
I got an Xbox One and later continued, I think, by using my save file and downloading it. And man, that game plays well. I actually saw somebody recently from work playing it on a PS3, and I was like, oh my god. This is disgusting. The frame rate is so bad.
It is
because it
not
doesn't
good.
have an Xbox One boost.
Well, okay, the first Red Dead still holds up perfectly fine, but yes, you were not used to it. I've probably said it before, but Red Dead Redemption is my favorite game of all time, both from a gameplay and story aspect, and characters, and the world, and everything, so needless to say, I was very much looking forward to this 8-year development cycle for Red Dead 2. I know you don't hold it as like in high regard as I do, but man. But Red Dead 2 exceeded my expectations in just about every way.
Really?
Especially in terms of story and characters. Because I don't know how you feel about John Marston in the first game, but like it's like how do you make a better protagonist than that for a game like this?
Well, you know,
and I think
Arthur-
they succeeded.
so far,
Controversial? Not really. I think a lot of people feel this way, but Arthur Morgan is a better character. And I love John Marston to death. I
need to add a lot of sound effects here.
I would die on
like an audience going, "Oh!"
It's no. It's pretty popular. People love Arthur, and I would die on a hill for John.
Wow.
I love Arthur Morgan. His story is so much. Obviously, we can't talk too much about it, but his story made me tear up several times.
Seriously?
Yes. The end of that game, I was crying. I couldn't help it.
And I don't know.
And I wish I could talk about it with you, specifically the aspects about why.
Look.
But it just tore me up so many times in the best way.
It did bother me, and I do feel like I've disappointed you a little bit.
Oh, no.
But, like, it's been bad with this game. My product, like, how I've played it. It's just, I don't know.
You'll get to it eventually.
I went through a bad rut of, like, self-destructive behavior where I mainly just wanted to play games that were very familiar to me, aka, Dark Souls. And the idea that that's a comfort game. We've mentioned the hilarity of that before, but it is. When I'm familiar with a game inside and out for the most part, even though Addison was, like, laying revelations on me that were making my eyes bulge at that bar tonight, I really like it. I just really need to, I don't know. And this game is just it's like the Wild West.
I know what you mean.
It's big, open, and scary to me.
And you don't know the mechanics.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, you're not comfortable with it, right?
I mean, I can bang it out.
Sure.
Like, I can figure it out pretty quickly. Like, I have an abhorrent memory, as you know, because of my own behavior. But I don't have any problem with controls. I really don't.
Not the controls, just the way everything works.
Oh,
everything
like
interacts.
The shit where it's like, all right, we're all at a party that was marked on the map like a big story mission. Everyone's singing and dancing, and it's at night. Oh, no one told me to go to sleep. I've been talking to people for 35 minutes. What were you thinking on the other end of the headset that night? Like, you were just like, what are you doing? You must be fucking up.
I thought you must have just been in an unmanned danger transport area.
Who could have thought? Why? I literally had to try everything possible in the area. What? I mean, and I don't think Dutch said, you should take a nap or something.
Well, he probably didn't. I don't
that's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know.
But, I mean,
it's a huge game.
It's just so big, and I'm so stupid with video games. I'm like Mario from work. I just buy shit to have it and to be like, I played a little of it. I don't know. I'm going to play it one day. And then I just have this massive stack of goddamn video games. I'm like, well, I'm going to play like 5 minutes of this and go to another one, then play 5 minutes of another and just stop and play Dark Souls. It's like every single time I try to launch Red Dead, I play a little bit of it and I do a few missions, and it's so slow moving in a way. The first game was it was slow moving and very deliberate and plotting, but it was not quite like this. I don't know if it's just the hooks got me sooner, or I was more focused, or what.
I think that's also an aspect as to why you haven't like really sunk your teeth into it, is because I didn't need a hook. I was hooked from the get-go.
It's still up. Sorry. Looking at a remnant of the last podcast. But yeah, and also I've heard
you're digging around to find something that hooks you.
Look. Another thing, you were very deliberate in burying your head in the sand about this game because you wanted it to be,
and I don't do that often.
Your opinion.
I never do that.
Your personal experience, nothing outside. Did anything happen where like something was slipped to you and you were like, shit?
Nothing.
You had the perfect version Red Dead experience.
I was so lucky. Man.
Your cherry was perfectly popped.
In fact, I still don't want to listen to stuff about it because I honestly, I love this game.
I wish I hadn't.
I honestly love this game so much. I don't want any outside influences changing or even like giving me the thought of changing an opinion about a single thing.
I listen to podcasts.
I'm so happy with where I am with this game. It means that much to me. That like even if it's like someone talking about it in a Game of the Year podcast, like from Giant Bomb, if they say something negative and I realize that might be true, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, because it eats into you.
I don't
really
want that.
Think about it, and then you start to see it.
If they start talking, when they start talking about Red Dead on the Giant Bomb podcast for the Game of the Year stuff, I'm going to skip over it. I just can't hear it. I don't want it.
Jeff Gerstmann is horrible.
It's like someone
about it. He's really horrible. I feel like he was more positive about Grand Theft Auto 5 than he was about this game.
No. It's just it's not the same thing, but I'm going to try to illustrate what I feel about it. It's like if you show a friend a movie that means a lot to you and they just trash it. I couldn't hear that. I could not take that. That would tear me apart. Or that would tear me to bits.
I'm glad Ariel's hearing this to understand how alike we are.
Okay.
I want to
And it's, it's not often that video games really touch me like this one did, but man.
What about
it's like transformative?
Okay, let me fuck with you for a minute.
It's transformative in the way I took it in.
Let me fuck with you for a little bit.
All right,
just a little bit. Just really pick your brain about shit. Not even just listen. Listen here, sir. Straighten yourself out. Give your hair a slick back. By the way, Chris's hair is longer than I've ever seen it before, and he looks like he's going through a cool college phase.
I am a cool college phase.
Like a real like it's like the college friend like the friend who like eating roast. Who you haven't seen him in years, and then like he comes back and he's got like a luxurious mane. It's like, wow, you changed.
Yeah.
Like Chris is like like between the weight loss and the striking hair like difference, I was just like, wow. Because I remember you sent me a video of you like a strange like very forward shot of you walking at one point.
It was
and I was like, wow, he looks different and thin like he used to.
It was a video of like Imagine Dragons, and I like threw my phone in the trash or something.
Oh, good. That's very much what I would do. But what was my point? What was I doing?
You said something about picking my brain about something.
Okay, so let's say you're playing a mission.
Sure.
And you're riding along, and you're just taking in these sights, and the game's so pretty, and you wish you had a PS4 Pro and a 4K TV really badly, even though it might only be an incremental difference. But, you're just riding along in town, and a silly little, like, citizen just, like, runs in front of you, and you run over him, and the mission fails, and it's like, what the fuck?
I mean, that's just games.
Or you slightly no.
Is that not just
no?
games?
This is the most expensive game in like ever.
Oh please!
Come on, man. They should have ironed it out better. But like you're walking along hold on.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. The whole nature of video games is that you interact with it, and you can make a mistake at any time.
What about if I'm walking along a cliffside and my horse's like left hoof dips off the side and it says, "You're leaving the mission area. Please return to the mission." And 2 seconds later, mission failed.
But how do you fix that? Or is
there should be more wiggle room.
Or is that just one of those smarter people than me are working on this issue thing? Because how do you fix that?
By not playing the game.
That's the nature of video games.
By cutting the game off.
Oh, don't cut it off.
Because none of that shit, a little bit of that shit happened in the first one, but nothing like this one. This game in particular, failed the quest because you stepped out of the area, it needs to be fixed. It's bad.
I never had a problem with it.
Well, you're lucky, man.
I'm the Red Dead genius.
Because that's a huge complaint. It's one I have encountered on probably about 4 to 5 different times. And I hate it. Or I'll get a bounty for that shit. It's like, I didn't do anything. It was nothing I meant to do. But the game saw it as that and immediately put me down in the red.
The only problem I've really run into with things like that is, the big city is a New Orleans surrogate, Saint Denis.
Still haven't been there.
That's what it is. It's New Orleans, and it's really crowded. And sometimes you're riding through there on your horse, and someone will just step in front of you, and you'll get unarmed assault.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah. Why'd you do that? Police are coming. It's like, fuck, just make this better. This game had $80 billion. What are we doing? I'm sorry. I don't know. I expect this game to be perfect, 100% perfect, and I don't know. I know the way the controls are it adds an impact. The heaviness and the bulkiness.
It's intimate.
But I remembered I did the mission where, I mentioned to you the other day. I met the cameraman for the first time.
Yeah.
He was taking the wildlife photos. Can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, good. But I'll take that out. But I had to chase a coyote that stole his bag because it was full of raw meat or something, to lure the animals. Meat. My favorite topping, raw meat. And I chased the coyote down. And I'm just like, all right, I just feel like I just need to walk. I'm just going to walk it back because it looks ridiculous to be doing that little jog where he's like, you know what I mean? And with a coyote over your shoulder. I just slowly walked back and I was like, this is taking 15 minutes. I'm just holding the X button and just doop, 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 doop. It's like, why is the game so slow? I feel like it's it could almost be tank controls. It's like a half step to tank controls, like a fucking Silent Hill game or something. It's ridiculous. And it's just every turn is so.
My take on it, and I am
And the first game was like this too, but not as bad.
Obviously, I'm biased because I want to love this game, but I don't mind the slow aspect of it because I want to spend as much time in that world as possible.
I just haven't gotten comfortable with it yet.
Yeah.
And it will happen. It may be 2 years from now. Worst case scenario. Who knows? I mean, you know how I am. You remember when I started Dark Souls? I'm like on top of the world right now with that game. It's 2 years later.
That's true.
It's just, I hate the way, I'm weird with video games. You know?
But, yeah. I mean, you knew I would be all about it because the first one's my favorite game ever.
I'm tired of giving favorites. The whole thing we did with like top movies, video games, like it was fun, but I'm just like I'm so past. Like,
no, but this is
narrowing.
This is solidified though, always has been.
Yeah,
since it came out. So, moving on. I wish we could talk about it more, but I
only have a few more things to say about video games. Super Smash Brothers came out. I'm getting that soon.
I played a little bit of it.
Suck at fighting games. What do you think?
I mean,
it's Smash Brothers.
I'm a Smash Brothers fan.
It's Smash Brothers.
I'm like a level 7 out of 10 Smash Brothers fan.
Wow.
But I'm into it. I don't have a Switch, but I'm into it.
You will.
It's the best version of Smash Brothers so far.
What would you do if like I surprised you and like you had a Switch?
You'd be an idiot if you did
had
that.
a Switch.
It'd be just so stupid.
And then it all made
Such a
sense why I'm so
waste of
broke
money.
right now.
It'd be such a waste.
But just imagine, like, would you be mad? Would you be like, take this back? This is ridiculous.
I would, but I'd also be thinking, please
trade
don't
this
take
in
it
a
back.
GameStop for $25 store credit. Well, I'm about to rapid fire some shit because this podcast needs to go. Red Dead Redemption 2 was number 1. Spider-Man. I showed you a little bit. I didn't even give you the controller.
No.
Like, at some point,
I would like to.
I think I might let you just take that game. I don't know. With you to just take it.
You know I have nothing to do there.
Just take it.
I'm going to visit my parents in Florida, and I have no friends.
Everyone on this channel, well, just go to the local mall and start talking to underage girls. I know you're like Jeff Foxworthy.
What a timely Roy Moore joke.
Woo. I don't know what that was.
Like it was some big controversy.
I've mentioned it probably here and there on the channel. I don't know. But that Spider-Man game for one playthrough was just a blast. Like a fucking blast. It reminded me of the same fun I had with Arkham Asylum the first time. Just like worth once, and it's just a fun-ass time. Throw it away afterward.
I like games like that.
And you will be freakishly impressed at the technical achievement that game is.
I'm looking
you
at
already
I'm looking
noted
at
some
Doom
of it.
Too.
You can have that. You can have it. I'm done.
Finally gonna play
Go ahead
Doom.
and extract it.
I'll pull it out a little bit.
Far Cry 5's DLC came out. I don't know if I told you about that.
Oh, the Rage.
I played
DLC.
Lost on Mars, which literally the worst character in the game, who is the son of a Trump fan. Or is it a Trump fan? Or it's just a character who mentions Trump in Far Cry 5. It's
like by name?
Yeah.
Really?
It's very weird. The rest of the game, like a lot of, leading up to that game, everyone...
they do really obvious, heavily implied stuff. But
yeah, but leading up to that game, everyone was thinking, oh, it's going to like tackle the alt-right. It's going to be like an extreme examination of like fringe white nationalist groups.
And like they might have
And
a
then
layer of subtlety to it.
And then they totally pulled a BioShock Infinite with it.
Yeah.
They totally wussed out.
Yeah.
But there are still traces of like, you can tell that was being discussed heavily at Ubisoft. Excuse me, I don't know how to say it.
I say Ubisoft.
The Mars DLC is literally just the redneck worst character in the entire game. Millions of waves with the exact same enemy with poor design. It is like the base game of that, like a Far Cry 5 is fun. That's the best thing I can say about it. That DLC is a travesty, just like the ending.
DLC's cut content, and it was cut for a reason. Did you ever play the Battlefront 2 campaign?
I got about probably 30 minutes into it and said,
"Oh, it's terrible."
This.
It's
I played
so
most
bad.
of it on Xbox though when I actually paid full
is
price
so
for it.
Bad.
I later got it on PlayStation 4 pretty cheap, but I did pay full price on Xbox.
It really is just waves of enemies as you protect like a control point.
And
like, why was this even?
As I think Crobcat it was Video Game Donkey pointed out, like it is like a shooting gallery. Like they will just stand there and fire at you and just let you shoot them in the head, and they miss just constantly.
Oh, that's canon.
And Iden Verso, what is the character's name?
Yeah.
Like What are you doing there?
Yeah, why?
As I mentioned in the last podcast, reclaimed God of War. Gonna play that and just say, all right. Destiny 2 struggles with Daniel. Yeah, we covered that. Struggles with Tomb Raider 2. The new one came out, and I have an odd love for these like big blockbuster like Tomb Raider Uncharted games, just because it's such a spectacle.
Uncharted?
I beat every Uncharted game.
And the fourth one?
I beat the fifth one. The Lost Legacy. It was like a little side game based on the same engine.
Oh, the DLC, more or less, right?
It was a full game. It was like an 8 to 9 hour game.
But it wasn't like technically a new game. It was Uncharted 4 stuff with...
It was the engine of Uncharted 4 with female characters from previous
side
games.
story, right?
Yeah, but it was actually...
Oh, no, I heard it was
bizarrely well handled.
But it's not Uncharted 5, but yeah.
No, it's like a half step.
Yeah.
I like Tomb Raider. I kind of like the direction they're going in, but I really think after the first one, they fucked up. Like, that Tomb Raider game, the reboot or whatever, soft reboot, whatever you want to call it, I don't even fucking know. Was very well received on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. They did a port of it for the, 8th generation of consoles? What is it? I don't know. Current 7th, 8th, or 9th.
Current gen.
Yeah. And I played that, and it glitched out at the end, but I still love the game, and it corrupted my save file. And I've just been trying to play the second one because I was like, oh, the new one's coming out. I got excited to get that.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider or something?
Yeah. No, the new one is Shadow, yeah.
Oh,
the second one is Rise of the Tomb Raider. And, I mean, like, for as generic as those games are, I really do enjoy them. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I just like a good, clean, catchy blockbuster game once in a while that you just play for, like, 20 hours and throw out.
Yeah.
I can't wait to finish it and eventually get to the third one that no one has talked about, which frightens me.
Yeah, it's strange. Well, it came out at a bad time.
It came out and just whimpered away.
Well, it came out at a terrible time. When did it come out?
And there are and it in ways looks worse than the second one.
When did it come out? Like October, right?
Can't even tell you. Something like that.
Well, I mean, you can't release in the shadow of Red Dead and Call of Duty and
the Shadow
of the Tomb Raider. Hey, they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
They knew it wasn't going to sell well.
And Shadow of Duty. Duty. Haha. But Bulletstorm, I bought it. It was a shooter recommended to me by a GameStop employee at the GameStop I frequent the most. You know the one closest to my old workplace. It's got the manager named Dom who's just like, yeah, man, fucking Batman, man. I fucking Batman. You gonna get Batman, man? Yeah, I already got the DLC. He's hilarious. He recommended Bulletstorm. It's a really fun, silly shooter. It's just like a bullshit, fun-ass shooter, except the mechanics are really addictive. There's some clever
There's
things.
That, like, tether thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can slow-mo, and then just, like, you can dissect their bodies with bullets, basically. You can choose each quadrant in slow motion. And then it came out about a month later for free on PSN.
Oh, that's like the Destiny
thing
with
us. And I was just like, I hate this shit so fucking much. I picked up Dead Cells. That game is something I will get into. I hope. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. What do you have to say about that after fucking with it for a minute?
Ooh.
Immediately oppressively brutal.
Yeah.
Like, that game is way harder than Donkey Kong Country 2. I'm sick of people...
It's like a weird thing to make like a... Obviously, it's aimed at kids, but to make it that fucking hard.
It is so unforgiving. Like, everything has to be so precise.
And it's tricky. It's
like,
always like pulling the wool over your eyes.
Yeah.
It's like,
every platform jump often has to be the absolute furthest point you can get on the platform. And you don't feel like you can do it. And I don't know, like, people praise that game, but like the fact that Nintendo included this thing called Funky Mode, which just made the game easy because they gave you like a flying board. They said, yeah, we made a unnecessarily hard game.
Then you need to change the game.
Showed you a little bit of LA Noire and Wolfenstein 2 on Nintendo Switch and Katamari Reroll. I don't know if I actually showed it to you.
No, we should get into that.
We should, man. It looks... it's fine. It's in 16:9 or whatever the ratio is. So that's all I really wanted because I'm a huge fan of that series. I wish Katamari Forever, which was sort of a compilation released for PlayStation 3, that game was really hard. They made it like freakishly hard. Like the only people buying it were like hardcore fans. It's brutal. I have Assassin's Creed Origins. I like Egypt.
Yeah,
I think that's what they bet on with both of these games. Well, there's history buffs who like Greek stuff, and they like Egypt stuff.
Yeah.
So,
oh, you're talking about Assassin's Creed, yeah.
make a game that's like, of course, the Odyssey one is like 80 hours of unrelenting content. I don't know how they're putting these games out,
Here's my thing
man.
with that Assassin's Creed. If it wasn't Assassin's Creed and it was a new IP, I'd be like, "Holy shit, this is amazing!"
Same game.
Yeah.
If they just called it like Odyssey,
or everyone would
Lost
love
in
it.
Egypt or something, it would be huge because it plays a little bit like Dark Souls.
It would be
seriously. The combat is like Dark Souls.
If they revealed Odyssey, quote unquote, at E3, it'd be the most talked about thing. But no, it's Assassin's Creed, and I'm so done with that series. I'm so done with Ubisoft.
I never started, so I can't be done. But I just like settings, and apparently with these two games, they really like put some fucking games out, like some big ass shit.
It's weird,
like, detailed, fleshed out, really long,
and it's
thoughtful stuff.
It's really funny because not that long ago, Assassin's Creed was that old standby of, it's a new Assassin's Creed game, and now it's like, oh, this is a great game. It's one of the best of the year.
It's wild,
and that's been that way for 2 years in a row. I don't know, man. Like, I really do.
How did they pump those games out? Different studios, right? I don't know. They're like in the same engine.
I don't know. I'm more interested in the Odyssey one than the Origins one.
Well, Chris, I think it's time for picks. The interesting thing about last night's podcast is we did a rare double header music pick. Think you could do that, or would you?
I could do it. I could do it.
Could do it again?
I could do it, but they're gonna.
Mine's really, really poetic.
Okay.
Mine's. You'll see
so
what I'm doing.
Do you want to alternate, or do you want me to go 2 and then you go 2? Because it seems like you have a plan.
Mine is. You're gonna get it, and it's gonna be like.
But do you want to alternate or not? Or do you want me to do my 2 and then your 2?
Let's alternate. It only makes sense.
Okay. So you need to be last, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go first,
Okay.
right? Surely you're familiar with the band Golden Earring, right?
I like them. They did a good driving song once.
The name of the song was?
Golden Earring.
Radar Love?
Radar Gay.
You're ruining everything.
Start over one last time.
Surely you are familiar with the band Golden Earring. This is the third try.
I like them a lot. They have good horns and driving music. I have one coming up pretty soon.
Good horns.
I have a good driving pick coming up.
I might even call it my favorite pick he's made.
This is a great accompanying piece. You don't know that yet, but we'll see. I don't know. It might be God casting intense mega lines into my ears. The spells of God. God was a wizard. All right, what is it? What the fuck is it?
I think this is a better song than Radar Love. Okay, are you ready for it?
Oh, that's fucked up, dude. That's a great song.
Twilight Zone by Golden Earring.
Chris, you've redeemed yourself, but like it's a confusing timeline. It's like you actually went back in time and fixed the podcast.
It's strange. I don't know.
You're like a time traveler. The Curse of Chester.
The Curse of Chester.
The most half-baked, like FromSoft translation line for anything.
I think it's a byproduct of the Unmanned Danger Transpo.
I don't even know, but look, Chris chose an incredible pick here. I never knew Golden Earring. I always wondered, but I didn't check. Golden Earring had another banger.
Oh, that's it.
This is even better almost.
I don't know. I say it's better.
Radar Love
Love's really good.
A freak energy where it's like watching the most entertaining movie from front to back. This is great. But Radar Love, man, if it weren't so played out, I'd still be like number one.
It's hard to say, but I think Twilight's.
I have to tell you the most fucked up thing about Twilight Zone. What? I did know this song. I caught it midway.
Yeah, you did.
You noticed, and we had like oh man, look at that. I know this song, yeah. But I haven't heard this song in ages, and the scariest part about it, and it's almost insulting, I thought it was a George Thorogood song.
Really?
Can you kind of see that a little bit?
George Thorogood's Bad to the Bone guy, right?
Yeah. Can you kind of see how it could maybe be a
it's
long
just bone.
stone's throw? Like it's a gritty, like kind of bar-y song.
It is.
Like it's driving truck drivers and just kind of all in the same universe. But that song is ridiculous. I haven't heard that song in so fucking long. And man, that hit me right into the bone.
The Blizz bone.
Next pick. My next pick is actually I'm sort of resting on my laurels here. I'm dipping back into familiar territory. I'm a big fan of this band with a Bob Seger inspired name. Good old Night Moves.
Yep.
I chose Painted Emotions last time. I can't remember
Colored Emotions, isn't it?
I was thinking of the Grizzly Bear album Painted Ruins that I was thinking about. Yeah, it's Colored Emotions. Colored Emotions.
Or is it Carl Sagan?
It's not good. Carl Sagan is good too, but no, it's not.
Oh, wow.
It's a song by this band whose name is Night Moves. I'm pretty drunk. Night Moves is the name of the band, not Night Moves. I'm pretty drunk. And it's called Alabama. So what did you think of that shimmery, atmospheric, ethereal, awash in a sound, colorful, weird little 80s drowned out vocals throwback?
It's strange that I haven't heard that before. So I was really into Colored Emotions when you showed me that. Because that was one of your picks, right?
Yeah. That's like their top song next to Carl Sagan. This is more like a deep cut.
Yeah.
I really like it though. I know, like I said,
this would have played on that station we were listening to.
Yeah. Oh, album-oriented rock.
Yes.
Wow. Here's Simple Man by Leonard Skinner.
One you haven't heard.
Speaking of Alabama. But, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it. I like this band unusually well for a very, very hipsterish group. And they do this weird late 70s, bleeding into the 80s sound that I'm really crazy about. It's very cheesy, and a lot of their music has almost a disco vibe to it. This was not a good example, but I just think they're a really cool band, and I just wish they would not drown their vocals out of much. I know that's a stylistic choice, but the lyrics aren't bad. Like I said, I don't know why it's called Alabama, which I'm probably going to be kicking myself in the editing process in however many days, but yeah, that was Alabama by Night Moves. What's Chris's final pick?
Excellent pick.
Thank you. I didn't mean to be a dick to you before.
Oh, no.
Just being honest.
Honestly, when it started playing
Very
again, I was
uninspired.
I don't think I liked it that much. It was weird. When I was listening to it in the car, I was like,
it just sounded like, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, no offense. I'm just being this is the first one. I'm serious.
I kind of feel the same way.
This is the first one.
I think I needed the confrontation.
Well,
to realize.
Okay.
No, I take zero offense.
Cool.
Should I have a makeup?
Sure, makeup sex.
Okay, yes.
Makeup pics.
Oh, Spanish Caravan by the Door.
Yes, I know you can. How the fuck had neither of us heard this? Tell what happened.
I know it's a cheap.
What happened? By the way,
kinda,
you win.
It's
I
kinda,
hate you.
Well, it's kind of a cheap
fucking
shot.
stole the show.
It's a cheap shot because we both heard it today.
But
for the
I
first
was
time.
responsible.
But come on, don't take all the credit. Come on, don't take all the credit. Come on.
All right, go.
But listen, I'm a huge
You
Doors.
made up for the last
I'm a
one.
huge The Doors fan. But
I'm a Doors dork.
How have we never heard this? It's strangely probably my favorite Doors song.
And the
I've only
interesting
heard it
thing about
twice.
it, as soon as I heard it, I was thinking of this piece called. It's not what I thought it was earlier. It's Asturias, Asturias, by Isaac Albanese, and it's a traditional Spanish folk melody, and that's just super cool. But it makes sense for a Spanish caravan song.
But man, why is that not more popular?
And we were listening to, like I said, a deep cut station, or allegedly.
That was the joke we were talking about. Yeah.
And this just came on driving home from me introducing Chris to my girlfriend.
I feel like we both looked at each other and we're like, "Oh,
this is ridiculous." And I'm glad you latched onto this because you reclaimed the glory you lost.
I didn't lose it.
You slipped on the ice a little bit, but I was there with my Christmassy hand to hold you and take you up. You didn't fall on your butt and split into the tut. Do you have anything else to say? Because I think I'm fleeting.
Yeah.
I'm rapidly leaving this world. I'm going on an aerial journey. Okay. I might take that out. My final pick, and you're going to get the theme I was going for, because it is literally what you did. Literally. Is a song by a group that I've been seeing flagged up and down lately. Not flagged. YouTube said, fuck this, you're going down. It's been popping up in my recommended stuff ever since I left Houston. This is called The Trip by Still Corners. Think about the two titles of my picks.
Time has come to go. Pack your bags, hit the open road. Our hearts just won't die. It's the truth keeps us alive.
Well, that was The Trip. Now you get my theme, Alabama, The Trip.
We got two strong.
Don't you think it's clever?
We got three strong.
Don't you think it's clever?
Well, this is.
You went to Alabama
Hey.
on a trip, and wow, I'm just so clever.
I think this is my favorite pick you've had. I really think so.
Serious?
I really think so.
Because I'm sitting over here looking at you like, Chris is always the guy that's like, I don't get instrumental music. I'm a bitch. And you're just like when you're like one of the guys that's like, when does a singing start?
I did not know. You said that today.
When's a singing
You
start?
said that today, not me.
Oh, but that ridiculous Tommy song by the Who, right?
Yes.
The Who.
You literally said that. It's not me. That's not me.
I just feel like I can grossly mischaracterize you like that.
I just have the opportunity sometimes.
I don't know what to say about this song. It's like an ultimate driving song. Further good female representation. Like full circle.
I'm not even kidding. This is probably my favorite pick you've had. I really liked it.
I'm taken aback
I really
by that,
liked
to be
it.
totally honest.
You don't understand how I latched onto the instrumental part even?
I don't think it's that good. I mean, I think it's good.
Oh, what?
I think it's really good.
I loved it.
Like, to me, this is like a half-hearted pick, almost.
No.
I just went with a theme of Alabama the trip because you took a trip to Alabama from Texas.
You know it's good when we're not recording.
When you accept a 6-minute song and don't
that, and then I go, does all their stuff sound like this?
Yeah, now I was about to say, I didn't know if you wanted me to go that far.
No.
I
really
wanted to bring
loved
it up at first when you said that.
Also, what's it called?
It's called The Trip by Still Corners.
I'm going to add that to my cool playlist.
You
my
should
all-encompassing
play it out on the way out of
playlist.
here, dude.
My all-encompassing playlist. When that gets added to that, you know it's good.
Well, for something that was kind of contrived just to make
I
Alabama
loved
the
it.
Trip.
I really loved it.
Alabama, the band, and then not the band, by Night Moves, and then this. I was just doing like a neat trick.
No, I liked it a lot.
It's a year of neat
A
tricks.
slick trick.
Well, anyway, we got to take
Favorite
the
rapper,
podcast
Slick
out.
Trick.
Slick Trick. He's coming over tonight. He's going to blaze us, and he's going to give us his lean, and we're going to take on a nasty spleen and suck the juices out and say, time to do a ritual of the night. It's time for the Christmas cast to be filled with blight. It's time for it to erode away like a nasty leper colony. Let's hit it and quit it and get it, and Chris has something to say in it all. End 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 it all.
End it all.
End it all.
End it all. End it all.
End it all.
End it all. End it all. End it all. End it all. End it all. End it all. End it all.